Mark here with Tamed Fire, and this is the Gora Original Dragon, the Gora Adapter Kit, and the Threeworlds Adapter Kit Dragon Review. Here's the dragon that started it all. The staff tubes and spines are constructed from 7075 T6 aluminum. It breaks apart as seen here for easy transport. Here's another shot of her. This is before her first meal, as you can note from the lack of soot. This piece here is solid. The spines run through the middle and are also solid. The wicks are 1/16 inch thick by 2 inches wide. I'm not sure about the length, but it is the large extra wicking which you can specify when ordering. The screws that hold the wicks in place go into the spines. This prevents the wicks from sliding down and exposing the spines. Same thing as seen here. Looks like an oak dowel is used on the inside. The grip consists of 2 layers. The bottom layer is a thin, soft, cushy EPDM, a fancy acronym for defibrillator. The top grip is a thin, tacky grip. This is the Gora prototype adapter. It comes as seen here. These screws are genius. I will explain why later. I use a 7/8 inch diameter staff, and because the prototype is fixed for a 1 inch diameter, I wrapped some aluminum tape around it until the adapter fits snug. The screws that secure the spines in place require a flathead screwdriver, which is not included in the kit. When I put the spines of the adapter next to the spines of the original Gora on the right, I noticed they are a smaller diameter, lighter but not as strong. This is the Threeworlds adapter. It comes in 3 sizes, 1 inch, 7/8 inch, and 3/4 inch. This is the 7/8 inch model. It has stainless steel flexible spines. Hex nuts secure the hub onto the staff, and there is a small gap left, which I think is brilliant. I'll explain later. The wicks are an 1/8 inch thick by 1.5 inch wide Kevlar. Not sure on the length, and there is no option when ordering for larger or smaller wicks. I would have to take it apart, but it looks like they clamp a piece of aluminum on the end of the spine, so when the wicks are screwed in place, it doesn't split the cable. The spines are secured with small hex screws and some blue thread locker. Now to talk about some pros and cons, starting with the OG Gora. First off would be the 7075 T6 aluminum alloy, which is used in the spines and the tubing sections on the staff. Next would be the weight. It's really light at 1.3 kilograms. And last but not least, the staff rolls like a dream. In fact, it rolls almost as good as Matt's mustache looks in this video. The first con is price. After shipping, it's going to be over $350 for this staff. Second is it's a one-time deal. There's really no mods you can do to this. The first pro to the Gora adapter is the weight. It's the lightest of the 3 dragons being reviewed. Another would be the solid spine screw design, which I'll show you later. Some of the cons would be the spines are weak. As I showed earlier, they're thinner than the original Gora. The clamp screw that holds the hub onto the staff is not centered on the hub. And again, price. At half price, it was almost as much money as the Threeworlds. First pro with the Threeworlds design is the flexible spines. This makes for a cushiony landing if it ever hits you in the grape. The weight is another one. It's the heaviest of the 3 designs, but it's heavy in the right spots, and it's not too heavy. It's perfect. The price is just right. It's an absolute great price. The only con I've found with this design is it has a teeny tiny wobble when you spin it and just let it roll by itself. You may not be able to see it here, but I can feel it in my fingers. It's not enough to affect the play of it, and I don't even notice it when I'm practicing. The Gora prototype adapter screws don't go into the spine. that hold the wicks on, and the wicks slide down like this, exposing the spine. To remedy this, simply unscrew the screws from the wicking, unravel the wicking from the spine, and underneath you'll see that it's held on by these two rivets. Drill the rivets out using a drill bit small enough to go through the original holes used. Next, use a larger drill bit. I used just under 1/8 of an inch to drill larger holes through the spines. Once you've drilled both holes, you're ready to wrap the wick back on and use the screws to put it through the spine. Alright guys, time for some nitpicking. This is the Threeworlds. When you take the clamp off, you have to take out one of the spines on the Gora adapter. You don't have to do that because it's offset. Those screws I was telling you about, these things right here, genius, because this section right here, it fits perfectly in there. As far as his original, that will not bend. These will bend. Just letting you know, Gora, make them thicker. And I'll probably buy those because I love your products. I now attach the Gora to something at 1 inch, what it's intended for. You can see it doesn't have a gap when you clamp it on here. Pretty much flush, maybe paper thin, if any gap. Now when I put my spines on, I like to line them up. I look down and make sure it's in a line. So if it gets thrown off some, I don't know, I just like it even. You know, because if it was to sit on the ground, right, these two would be like this, and over there on that side it'd probably look like that. So, just a preference thing. I like it on the ends better than I like the other model, mainly because of weight. This is the lightest design you will find. Yeah, that gap on the Threeworlds design, the reason I think that's genius is because when these clamp down, you won't get that roll. Okay, the hub won't spin on the staff itself. Whereas I think that's because with the Gora it's so flush and it's not centered. These screws that hold the hubs on, they're right in the middle of the hub. And on the Gora, you see that it's off right here on the side. Okay, now with it being off to the side, it's going to tighten this side of the hub more than it's going to tighten this side. With the Threeworlds design, you see that you have to take off one of the spines because it's in the way of the screw right here. One spin and it comes right out. I'd like to see them come up with a solid spine design as well. So it'd be nice to have these for practice, the flexibles. That's what I've come to the conclusion. I really like the flexibles for practice. But I like the solids for performance. So, because you can go crazy, you can do things that you don't do consistently with these. Obviously you don't want to do things that you're not consistent with in performance, and that's where this becomes really fun, because you can smack the crap out of yourself with it and it's not going to bludgeon you. I have to say, this is my favorite, solid and flexible. I think that's where I'm going with now. I think the cuffs should both have the option of solid and flexible. Yeah. Do it, guys. Do it.